Now we're in module 1 of the course. We want to talk about data entry. Data entry is one of the most basic things that you may want to do in Excel. And this seems to be the most general thing that, in my opinion, people do in Excel. A lot of people use Excel as a data entry tool. It's important, most especially for businesses, small-scale businesses, or people that just want to track certain things about themselves, about their lives, about their businesses, to understand how to do this efficiently with Excel. And this is the core of this module. I'll switch to my Excel very quickly. I have an Excel spreadsheet here, and here we want to start tracking details of our sales. So assuming that we are a small business and one of what we interest us is to track our sales so that we can at some point in time run some analysis on this and be able to do to understand how our business is faring and what we may want to do better to scale our businesses. We could have a template like this that we want to use to populate details of our sales. When we talk about data entry, essentially what it just means is that you have an Excel workbook like this on a particular worksheet and you want to begin to type in details in here to save for later use or just to track certain things within the business or for whatever purpose. When we now want to start entering data, we spoke about the concept of active cell in one of the earlier lessons. And what that means is that whatever cell you want to start entering data into, you need to be on that cell actively. How do you know that you're on a cell actively? Or how do you know the active cell that Excel is expecting you to start typing certain things into at that point in time? Is by looking at whatever cell is highlighted. So at this point for me, the cell that's highlighted is cell E5. So if I try to highlight the row and the column, the intersection is E5, and that is the active cell for me. So which means when I'm on a particular active cell and I begin to type, whatever I'm typing goes directly into that cell. So now I want to start typing certain details here. Customer name. Let's say the customer is Mohsin and the product bought is biscuit. You just stay on the cell and then you type. And once you're done typing, you can either press enter to go a step downwards, which is go from a cell to the next downwards, or we press the tab key. So when I'm done typing, let's say that I type biscuit again, just as this. Instead of pressing enter, if I want the cursor, the active cell, to go to the next cell directly in front of this, I just press the tab key and that shifts the active cell from the current cell on which I have typed to the next cell ahead of it. Another thing that we need to be aware of is this. When I'm on a particular cell, I type the date here, for instance, 22/11/2020. If I press enter, it goes to the cell that is directly below. But if I want to stay on that particular cell, I don't want to go cell below or cell forward, what I will need to do is once I'm done typing 11/1900, I can do Control Enter and that keeps me on that particular cell. This will be exceptionally important when we get to talking about functions and calculations in Excel. So, but just bear in mind that whenever you type in a cell and you press enter, enter takes you to the cell directly below the cell that you just typed in, or it takes you to the cell on the leftmost part of where you started typing from. It depends. Also, if after typing into a cell, you want to go to the cell that is just directly ahead, which is just in front of, you can press the tab key to go in there. But if you want to stay in the actual cell that you just typed in, you can press Control Enter once you're done typing. And if you would want to go to the cell above, if I type in something here now, 2000 and I want to go to the cell above it, I can press Shift Enter. That takes in the content for that cell and it makes the cell directly above the active cell.